Hello and welcome back to Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I am your host, Evan Deal, and today we are going to dive back into Carmel, Indiana, the crown jewel on top of the Circle City, and give you a full overview of how to get around, where some of the key landmarks are, and looking at different neighborhoods in the real estate market within Carmel, Indiana, and showcase why this is one of Indiana's most desirable places to live and what makes Carmel unique. So we are so excited to have you, and while we have you here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so that you are kept in the loop for everything that's happening within the Circle City and the surrounding areas. Be sure to stay in the loop for everything Indianapolis. You stay right here on this channel. Now let's dive in. All right, so if we look at Indianapolis as the whole, you can really see that Indianapolis is truly the Circle City. 465 goes around the city in a loop. And Carmel sits in Hamilton County, which is to the north of Indianapolis, which is Marion County. And it's really right in the middle of the north side. You can think of it like the crown jewel of the city. So let's get it a little firmer here. So if we outline Carmel, here's where it sits, just south of Westfield. You have Noblesville and Fishers. These are your Hamilton County staple cities. This is what most people think of when they think of North Side, and then there's Zionsville out to the northwest as well. So if we dig into Carmel a little bit, you can see that the main part of Carmel, the heart of Carmel, is surrounded by just a few roads here. So on the south, yeah, we're good there. On the south, we have 465 down here. That's the major interstate that surrounds the city of Indianapolis. Up on the west, we have 31. And the way 31 works in Carmel is it's really nice. It kind of functions like its own interstate, even though it's a highway, where each of the exits off of it is a raised ramp where you go to the crossroads across Carmel. So you see them as you drive on it. And it just makes getting around so much easier in Carmel and around the area across the north side. And then on the other side, we have a similar situation with Keystone Parkway. And these combine to kind of encapsulate the downtown and central parts of Carmel, which make it a lot easier to get around than it otherwise would be in other areas of the city. They've really invested heavily into the infrastructure of Carmel, and it's part of what makes it such a nice place to live. Now, I will say, because there are so many people living there and moving there, it can get backed up at peak times. That's very normal around Indianapolis, and I imagine most cities in the United States. But it's something to think about when you're looking in this area. Another area you'll see on the map in Carmel is Rangeline Road, which is going to go north to south through the heart of Carmel. So you can see it right here. And something that Carmel's famous for, and I've mentioned this in our Carmel pros and cons video, is all the roundabouts. So there are still stoplights in places on the north side, but something you'll see north of the city in Indianapolis, especially in Carmel, are roundabouts everywhere. There's not rolling four-way stops. You're gonna keep it moving up there, which is really it's an amazing thing. Once you get used to it, some people come from areas of the country that are moving to Indianapolis. They're not used to roundabouts as much, and it takes a bit of adjustment. But once you get used to it, it's a much better free-flowing way to keep traffic moving. So here in the middle of Carmel, we have the Carmel City Center, which you can take a look. Let's pop the layers on here. And there's all sorts of businesses here. There's places to eat. There's shops, luxury apartments. It's a really well-developed area. Let's drop us into the roundabout right here. Take a look around. So you can see very, very nice buildings, very high-end places. There's no limit to places to eat within Carmel. There's tons of great restaurants. You can see the drive is beautiful. Something else you'll notice driving around Carmel is there's just greenery and artwork all over the place, just designed to make it a very, very nice and appealing place to live. Now, if we go up the street a little bit, we can go up the road into the Carmel Arts and Design District. So it's right next door. And here, you really get all the designs that you could want, for a home. Really make it a nice place to live. There's everything you can think of there. So if we dive into it a little bit, you can see the whole district is quite large, and it's right next to Carmel High School, which if you've seen our pros and cons video, you know that the Carmel schools are among the best rated in Indiana across the entire state, and Carmel High School consistently ranks as the best or near the best high schools. But the whole design district is really cool, and within it you can see really anything you want in terms of how to outfit your house, how to get latest fashions, latest designs. There's galleries, there's boutiques, there's public art. It really is a cultural hub within the city of Carmel and the larger Indianapolis area. On the other side of Carmel, we have the village of West Clay, which is designed to be an all-encompassing master plan community. It's got a focus on walkability, and there's all sorts of housing options here. There are rental options, there are own options, there are townhome options. It's just a really cool area that makes it a little unique, sort of a town, or I guess a village rather, within the larger city of Carmel. And additionally, we have Old Town Carmel as well, which is an area that's filled with historic buildings, and there are some mixtures of newer developments. You can see this is right off of the design district and has some overlap within it. So it's includes Midtown Plaza as well. So if we want to dive into here, you can see there's so much fun stuff to do within Carmel. It truly has a vibrant downtown. There's breweries, there's places to eat, there's thriving businesses, there's artwork. You have the Monon Trl walking through. There's just a ton to do within Carmel. It's just a really neat place to live and be. Another place in Carmel is Coxhall Gardens, where there's just tons of scenic beauty throughout, tons of green space. You can see the bell tower here on the east and the west. Just really neat, unique cultural places within Carmel. We have the Monon Trl in Carmel. Let me pull it up for you. And this is going to run through not just Carmel, but through the city, where you can really enjoy running, biking, walking. It's beautiful, especially through downtown Carmel. There's a hip cultural hub of all sorts of people gathering, all sorts of businesses and restaurants, and it runs right through Carmel. So if you look at parks in the area, Carmel actually has over 50 parks. Another great thing about Carmel is the country clubs and golf scene. You can see we have Crooked Stick. There's a whole community around Crooked Stick and Woodland Country Club. We have Brookshire over here. There really are no shortages of places to golf around Indianapolis and no shortages of country club. We actually have an entire guide on this if you really want to get the down low on them. And some of the best ones are on the north side, but really they're throughout the city. But there are really nice ones within Carmel if you're interested in golfing, if you're interested in sort of the leisure and just enjoyment that a country club provides. So something you're not going to find quite as much these days are brand new, boxy new build homes within Carmel. Those are happening more in Westfield, in Noblesville, in Fishers. You don't really see them as much these days in Carmel because the land is so well developed and it's at a premium. So a lot of the other areas of Indianapolis, like on the southeast side, on the east side proper, there's tons of like farmland that can be developed. So you see a lot of the more big box communities where you can get a really nice house, but it's not necessarily a fully custom build. But in Carmel, that's not the case anymore. Carmel has a population, around 100,000 people. It's very highly developed already, and there's a multitude of different housing, from apartments to townhomes to single-family homes, and it really is very well developed already. And there are a lot of fully fleshed out communities. We talked about West Clay earlier as an example. But what you don't see as much are the traditional new builders in Carmel anymore. Those are going into the surrounding areas that are a little more affordable. So all in all, Carmel is just a really walkable area. It's very, very well laid out, very well developed. It's very easy to get around by car or by foot. There's plenty of things to do, whether it's golfing, whether it's places to eat or drink. Things for kids, like the water park is really fun for kids. There's shopping with Clay Terrace, luxury level malls. There's all the types of car dealerships that you could want at the high end are in Carmel, and it's just a really awesome place all around with how well it's been developed and planned out. There's really nothing that's a downside to downtown Carmel and the surrounding areas within the larger city. And it truly is its own city that sits atop Indianapolis. And while it's a suburb of Indianapolis, it does have its own vibe. It's an elite level city. It's got elite level luxury amenities. And it's just overall a very nice, desirable place to live. It's consistently ranked as one of the best places to live in the entire country, not just the state, the entire United States. Now let's take a look at some of the listings around Carmel. So I pulled up solds, actives, pendings, for the past few months, and just to give you a flavor for the real estate market within Carmel. So Carmel breaks down, like most areas, into a few distinct areas and neighborhoods within them. So you can see out west, you're looking in the the 400s, the 500s. There are a smattering of $1 million plus homes, and it really just depends on where you go, the location of the home. So let's zoom in here. So you can see we have a more of an upscale neighborhood here, 1.4. Let's take a deep dive into this one. So Windermere, that's a higher end subdivision within Carmel, 1.3. This is a pretty normal type of home you'll see in these, where it's a larger home, nice, stately, well manicured. This is pretty common for some of the nicer subdivisions within Carmel. They're not brand new homes, but they are, let's see here, built 94. Yeah, so you'll see a lot of them in the 90s, the 2000s. This is common with some of the luxury areas of Indianapolis. You'll definitely see it in Geist as well. So you can get definitely on the higher end within Carmel. So this is in Crooked Stick, which is sort of an elite golf community. You can see the golf course behind it, $6 million. And there's not a huge amount of properties in Carmel or in Indianapolis that are in that range. This is definitely a higher end home for the area. You can see what $6 million will get you in Indianapolis. It's an absolutely beautiful home. If you're in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or California, this is not what you're getting for $6 million. So Indianapolis, I've said it before, even the more expensive areas like Carmel, like the north side of Indy, you're definitely getting more bang for your buck relative to other areas of the country. So let's go into a few different areas. It's not all $1 million homes in Carmel. You can see out in West Clay, they have a variety of home options. I'm only looking at single family here, but you're in the 600s, the 700s, up to over $1 million. Here we have a 2.1. Let's dive into it. So not in a subdivision. Only on market 6 days, you may have noticed. Hamilton County homes, because of how well regarded the schools are, because of all of the amenities that come with living in Hamilton County and in Carmel specifically, they don't tend to stay on market as long, and they're very competitive. So let's dive on over into downtown Carmel. You can see a variety of different prices because we're not talking as large of estates here. So like 368, you can see that's a more modest home, right? And in some places, people look for homes to tear down and rebuild in downtown Carmel because the lots are very well priced. And then out in the Northeast, once again, you see higher home values. You see in the 600, 1 million, 800,000. Up in the north, you see consistently over $1 million. And this is going to vary depending on what neighborhood you're in Carmel. They say location, location, location in real estate. That's absolutely the case. Where you put the same house is going to drastically affect the home value. So this one was on market a bit longer, but 1.8 million in Bridgewater. Let's look at another one. 2.3 million over in Bridgewater as well. So depending on the community you're in, you're going to see vastly different prices across Carmel and across Indianapolis. But definitely would say this is a thriving real estate market in Carmel. The homes have typically held their value. They're well-maintained homes, and it's a very desirable area. So they don't, if they are priced correctly and marketed well, they don't last as long as some of the other areas of Indianapolis in terms of number of days on market. So running down a few of the statistics for the Carmel area, the population is over 100,000. It's about 103,000 in 2024, and the population is growing not quite 1% per year, but about 0.78% per year. Median age is around 40 years old. Household income is actually 181,000, which is about 3 times the state average. It's one of the most affluent areas within the state of Indiana. The poverty rate is only 3.62%, which is about 3 to 4 times lower than the national average poverty rate. As I mentioned, Carmel is a very affluent area and pretty expensive to live in. Education, 76% of the people in Carmel have a bachelor's degree or higher. You have a lot of doctors, engineers that live in Carmel as well. And there's a ton of corporate businesses that are moving to the north side. And you have a lot of people who actually commute to downtown from Carmel as well. Carmel Clay schools boast a 98.6% graduation rate, which is among the highest in the state. 81% of college-bound students enroll in an in-state tuition. About 61% take advanced placement AP courses within the Carmel Clay education system, which is above the national average. And according to U.S. News and World Report, Carmel Clay schools rank number 6 in Indiana, and usually it's right around the top, in the top 1 to 5, 1 to 10 range across the entire Carmel Clay system and for Carmel High School specifically. Also, University High School is in Carmel, and it's consistently ranked as one of the best private schools within the state of Indiana. Thanks again for checking out Carmel with us. We love to go through all the areas of the city, so be sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you stay in the loop for everything that's happening within the 317 and beyond. I'm Evan Deal with the Living in Indianapolis, Indiana team. Be sure to check out the rest of our videos as you explore this city. And if you want to look at any properties in the area, just give us a holler.